Hi, I'm Jackie Lappin, your host and presenter today. I am so delighted that you are here, and I'm excited to be able to help you skyrocket your speaking success. Now, I want to ask you a quick question. Are you ready to get on more stages so that you can change more lives? And do you want more financial success in doing so? So I really want to honor you as a change maker. You've chosen a not so easy path, but it's really amazing and wonderful when you see the light go on in someone's eyes, isn't it? I know that's when I really, really feel how powerful the work that we do is. And so I really would love to invite you and welcome you to share in this wonderful information today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A. I'll be delighted to answer them, provided we have enough time. We've got a lot of information we want to get through, and I want to honor the time that you've committed to doing this. So today, since you are such a powerful change maker, I want to help make your life get better. I want to help you get on more stages. And so without further ado, I am going to introduce you to the work that we're going to do today. So let me share my screen with you. My apologies to you. So now I am excited to share with you the 10 secrets successful speakers use that keep their speaking engagement calendar full year-round. I'm going to help you discover what's keeping you off stages. Now, today, I'm going to give you great information that's going to keep you from getting rejected and make sure that you get booked consistently. And I want you to stay around because I'm going to have some tips for you at the very, very last that are going to be really, really valuable. And you don't want to miss that. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me here, and we'll get into more of it in a few minutes. But for the last 10 years, I've been working with transformational messengers to help them deliver their message to the world in a much greater way. And for 35 years, I've been working to help people deliver their messages all over the world through publicity, radio, media tours, and speaking engagements. And I'm also the founder of something called Speakertunity, the Transformational Speaker Leads Tip Sheet. Now, this is something that I'm going to show you how we can put to your best interests. Now, what you're going to get today is how to stand out, stand above, and stand for what the bookers want. What you must have to be a must-have speaker, and the 3 most important factors in getting a booker to say yes. Now, when I wrap this all up, I am actually going to give you a pathway so that you can actually use all this information, because I know that it's so important for you to actually make that next step in your life, and it's so important to the audience you're going to be working with and helping. So I'm going to show you how you can apply this to get more bookings and more clients, an easy leap to your next level. Now, there are stages out there, radio shows and virtual summits, just waiting for presenters. Why shouldn't it be you? It's a matter of knowing what to say, do, and present so you can get booked and start attracting new clients. Now, you're probably here because of one of several reasons. And the first is you're stuck in your own business and struggling to attract new clients. Now, is this something that you've experienced? I know that it's something that I have. You want to get on more stages, but you haven't been getting enough yeses. You are hesitant to present yourself to bookers because you don't know what to say or do, and you fear rejection. Now, I know you're here today because you're ready to commit to being a booking magnet so you too can fill your calendar. Isn't that right? Now, my mission is to help the world's transformational leaders deliver your empowering message to a far wider audience. So together, we can impact humankind and the planet. Now, I know what it's like to be discounted, to have my dreams stepped on by someone else, to be dismissed. Is that something that you've experienced in your life? If I can, I want to tell you a little bit about my story so you can see why this is so important to me. My world exploded at the age of 4 when my mother came to me and said, honey, Daddy has cancer and we don't know if he's going to make it. You can imagine the terror. I remember standing on the hospital steps waving at my daddy because they wouldn't let children in the hospital back then. And I am thankful that my father survived, but we were financially wiped out. And so the solution was to move somewhere else and start all over. But you know what? I was different. I wasn't like anybody else in that community. And as a result, they shunned me. I was all alone. I was different. Do you know what that's like? Have you had that experience? So I dived into my twin passions, something that I loved. First was writing. I was really good at it. And I loved the Dodgers. And so I told my mom and dad at the age of 11, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a sports writer. Now, you can imagine if my peer group was already shunning me, what they said about that pronouncement. Being a sports writer? Yeah, right. But, you know, living well, success is the best revenge. And so before I was 22 years old, I was at the Detroit Free Press, the Associated Press. I was on the front pages of the Los Angeles Times, and I was at the Washington Post. And I then went into the PR business, and you can imagine there were a whole lot of men in that business, and they said, you know, a woman in sports PR, she's not going to succeed until they saw this client list. Again, revenge is the best success. American Movie Classics, Walt Disney, Seagram's, Mazda, Showtime. And my sports clients included the LA Marathon and Toyota Motorsports and the World Poker Tour. Yes, I launched the World Poker Tour and the Poker Phenomenon. NBC, the National Hockey League. I'm proud to say that we really showed people that if you follow your dreams, if you really follow your dreams, you can make them come true. And that's why it's really important for me to show that you can follow your dreams as well. I then went on to write one of the 2 best-selling books in personal growth. And I realized that I really, really wanted to work with the change makers of the world. And that's really when I rebranded everything. And the company became Conscious Media Relations, all of my conscious companies. And over the past years, we've done PR campaigns, radio media tours, and helped change makers really grow their businesses through all of these things, including speaking. Now, I've helped everybody from luminaries to first-time leaders. And some of my clients, I'm proud to say, include Don Miguel Ruiz of the 4 Agreements, Dr. Joe Vitale, Mr. Fire, James Twyman, the Peace Troubadour, Denise Lin, a leading Hay House author, Ariel Four of The Soulmate Secret, and Christian and Janet Atwood of The Passion Test and Hay House, and so many more. Now, this is where I really feel these dreams are so important. And this is my why, to help you achieve your dreams. I've learned that dreams have power, and when you commit to them and take action, they can become reality regardless of what others say. And this, I'm compelled to share with you the wisdom I've learned in my 10 years in the transformational marketplace to help you realize your dreams by reaching more people with your message. So now is the time for you to become the next great luminary in your field, a sought-after speaker, guest, or summit presenter who draws people into your community wherever you go, wherever you are seen or heard. So without further ado, we're going to get into the topics of Fully Booked, those 10 secrets successful speakers use that keep their speaking engagement calendar full year-round. Secret number 10, we're going to be counting down. The SMART selection. Successful speakers and leaders are strategic about where they spend their energy, time, and money capital on research and submission for bookings. Canvassing or submitting to bookers, venues that are pie in the sky, off target, are just not right for you. It's a waste of your time and money. You really want to focus on the speaking opportunities, radio shows, and summits with a track record matching your own content. And there's a real important reason for this. Your success rate is going to go up when you pick your spots. And it's really essential that you have great success in the beginning and so you don't get discouraged. So rejection is going to make you discouraged. So you really want to stick with the ones that are going to get you booked and be successful. Secret number 9, unpaid can equal unlimited. Successful speakers and leaders know better than to overlook unpaid speaking engagements. These can be far more lucrative than paid engagements. You don't want to write off speak to enroll, or otherwise known as speak to sell, or paid opportunities as unworthy of your time. If you're adept at making a compelling offer from the stage or getting people into your community, you can make these a great payday. Now, successful speakers and leaders frequently prefer speak to enroll engagements because they can be a gold mine. They have a bigger upside than fixed get paid engagements. If you do the numbers and you're good at this, then you're going to make a lot more money. Paid engagements also, they often are not giving you an opportunity to do an offer or to engage with the audience members. It's just a one and done. But if you can actually get them into your programs in one shape or another, either through a paid or a free offer, then you can sell them, you can teach with them, you can work with them for a long time after that. And the other problem with paid engagements is that bookers have very high expectations. If you don't already have a very substantial track record of speaking engagements and experience doing paid, they're not likely necessarily to take a chance on you. You really want to perfect your presentation before you leap into this arena. Secret number 8, killer assets. Successful speakers and leaders are always ready when they can begin to present themselves to bookers. They've polished their assets. And this means having a website that's contemporary, that is a horizontal website with a lot of photos and a little amount of words. You also want to have current photos. There's a real issue if you have 10-year-old photos on your website in your speaker one sheet and you show up in the room looking very different. The next thing you want to have is video so that they can see how you present. And then you need to have a great lead generation opt-in, something that really is going to attract people to you when you present it. And lastly, if you have a book, you need to make sure you have them available. Now, you don't want to risk getting caught embarrassed when a summit host asks for your free gift or the speaker booker wants 10 copies of your book and you don't have them. It's really critical not to lose the trust and the goodwill of the bookers. When you point them to these old websites or old photos, you know, it's a matter of building that trust. And this is the most significant way that you're going to sever it. You really want to be right on top of things. And you want to have high quality, excellent quality website, photos, video, and opt-in to show them that you're ready. Secret number 7, testimonials. Successful speakers and leaders have testimonials from satisfied bookers to show other bookers they are already tested and proven. Without testimonials, bookers get suspicious. Are they the first one taking a chance on you? Really? They don't want to take that risk. So it's really critical to have testimonials from other bookers. So you want to ask for a written or video testimonial after every presentation. Now, if you don't yet have them, you can use client testimonials until you have some from the bookers. Secret number 6. You want to present yourself as an authority. Successful speakers and leaders trade on their authority. You know, we've all been told, you know, don't talk about yourself, don't boast. And that is something that is ingrained in many of us. But the problem is it doesn't serve us when we're a speaker. This is not the time to be humble. This is where you proclaim your authority, even if you don't quite feel it yet. You want to use such words in your descriptions as powerful, acclaimed, insightful, highly regarded, breakthrough. You know, I've been writing for years, press materials and pitches, and just by uses of some of these words can really improve somebody's stature. And sometimes you may not see it, but other people can see it. And then you want to cite your book. Just by saying you are the author of, that makes you an authority on your subject matter. So you definitely want to play on that. Secret number 5, dare to be different. Successful speakers and leaders have a unique platform that differentiates them from the crowd. This is really imperative. And, you know, I can't say enough about how I often see things from people who are in the healing or the transformational world, and they say, well, they change lives, or, you know, they can get rid of blocks. That's not enough. It has to be more. Bookers see too many proposals from people who sound like everyone else in their niche. If you don't carve out your distinctive difference, you'll be left behind. Now, here's another way that you can be different. You can appear different. You can create a persona. You can be a rule breaker. Now, the person on the left is myself. And my persona is to come in dressed in goddess wear. And the reason I do that is because I deal in transformation, miracles. And so it's what everybody remembers about me. It's what makes me memorable, among other things, I hope. The person in the middle is my friend Elizabeth Bachman, and she comes out of the opera world where she directed people like Placido Domingo. And so you can see her style and uniqueness there. And then the person on the right, that's Patch Adams. And they made a wonderful movie with Robin Williams on Patch Adams. He's a medical iconoclast, and he really rails in the face of medical. But as a doctor, he really has an important message, and he loves to work with children. So you can see how he dresses there. And I had the experience of being on an airplane with him at one point, and my goodness, he was even dressed more strangely than that. So you want to be a pioneer and say something new and different, leading the way. You want to find an approach to a familiar topic from a different angle. You know, when I came out with my book, Practical Conscious Creation, it was at the time that The Secret was just coming out, and everybody was having manifesting books. And the reason that everybody booked me was because my subject matter was different. I talked about creating a blueprint for your life and making it come true. And then with my second book, Practical Conscious Creation, I talked about how to change your frequency by doing specific actions. And these were practical tips for conscious creation. And so everybody booked me, even though the subject matter was manifesting. Now, another way to do this is have a great human interest story that's dramatic. Now, if you don't know Jen Bricker on the top, her story is extraordinary. She was born with no legs, and she was given up at birth for adoption. And the family that took her in didn't put any limits on her. And amazingly, this woman became a standout gymnast in her region with no legs. But she always had a passion for Dominique Moussinot, the great Olympic gymnast. There was just something about her that called to Jen. And then when Jen went looking for her birth parents, who do you think they were? They were Dominique Moussinot's parents as well. She is her sister. Now, that's extraordinary. Look at Neale Donald Walsch. He was the author of Conversations with God, was living in his car and on the streets before he had his conversations with God. And the last one on the lower left is my friend Rhonda Britton. Rhonda watched her father murder her mother and then lived on people's couches and in her car for years until she finally rose above all of that and even grew to have her own television show, which you might have seen. Rhonda is an extraordinary woman who teaches how to survive and thrive. Secret number 4, it's not about you. Successful speakers and leaders know to focus on how their presentation and content will inspire, change, and motivate and activate the audience, what it will do for them. If you focus on your own credentials and expertise, you've missed the boat. Your audience is asking, what's in it for me? Now, you really need to show in your materials that you solve the audience's problems, and you're far more likely to see a yes from the booker. You want to address what will be the outcome. What problems do you solve to get that yes? Secret number 3, relevance, relevance, relevance. Successful speakers and leaders present themselves as directly relevant to what this particular audience needs, wants, and requires to advance, learn, or heal. I'm going to repeat that. Successful speakers and leaders present themselves as directly relevant to what this particular audience needs, wants, and requires to advance, learn, or heal. If you can't quickly demonstrate why you are aligned with what the booker actually wants for his or her audience, you risk immediate rejection. Now, there are 5 questions to ask yourself to make yourself relevant. And the first one is it the right demographic, age, or gender match? You know, if you're trying to speak to a millennial group and your subject is aging, that's obviously not going to work. And if you really have a strong message for women and you've got a heavy men's audience, well, you're not going to be able to really connect. So you really need to look at what the booker is responsible, what kind of an audience they're responsible to, and make sure that you're the right demographic, age, and gender match. You want to also look at, will they relate to your personal story? Is it their story too? You know, if you've been abused, those people who've had that experience are really going to relate with you. If you've had your business fail, people who have had that experience or have struggled, those are the ones that are going to relate to you. So you really need to look at the audience and see if it's their personal story as well. You want to say, is this the right skill level when you're checking? Is this a match for what this audience wants or needs to learn? You know, if your information is too elementary, your high-level audience is going to get bored. And by the same token, if your material is too advanced, you're going to lose your low-end audience as well. So you need to make sure that this is a real match. You can do that, yes? Does your audience fill a gap in what this booker has presented or fit a particular desired theme? You know, a lot of times these bookers are booking sequential guest speakers, and when they do, they're filling up certain buckets, and they're looking for people who have yet to fill that particular bucket. And if you fit that bucket, then that is a perfect opportunity for you to slip in. And so you want to ask that question, what are you looking for? Or what haven't you had yet? And then you also want to figure out, is there a theme? A lot of conferences and conventions have themes. And then lastly, of course, all virtual summits have some kind of theme, and you want to make sure that you're a match for that. And you want to say, is this hot? Is this something that the Booker's audience is clamoring to learn? Is it Facebook Live? Is the next best thing? If you have it, that's something that's obviously going to make a Booker pay attention. You want to show how you're the perfect fit and highly relevant in order to land the Booker, get that Booker to put you on stages, radio shows, or summits. Secret number 2, sparkling writing. Successful speakers and leaders make sure their submission materials sizzle from start to finish. And that includes your speaker one sheet, your radio TV pitch letter, or your summit proposal request. Poorly written, badly constructed, boring, indistinguishable prose will lose the Booker's interest in under 30 seconds. I know that that's not something that you want to have experienced. Now, here are the 7 factors for strong writing. A great subject line, great headline, great lead paragraph, great storytelling, great relatability, that's relevance and is it their story, correct grammar, and conciseness. It must be well written, exciting, enticing, informative, validating, and captivated. Not necessarily award-winning, but effective. So write, rewrite, spell check. Test it on people you know and trust. People will give you their honest opinion if you ask for it. You can do that, yes? Secret number 1, an elevated attitude that builds relationships. Successful speakers and leaders have an attitude that makes them a magnet for success. Bookers talk among themselves. Would you rather be the subject of great buzz or a bad rap? The right amount of persistence. Successful speakers and leaders definitely apply the right amount of persuasion with bookers, regardless of where that conversation seems to be heading. You could lose opportunities or burn bridges by constantly calling or pressuring bookers until you get a response. Contact the booker a maximum of 3 times, 2 emails and 1 call, or 1 email and 2 calls, and then let it go and allow for what might happen in the future. You really want to set positive intentions before you set out to connect with these speaker bookers. You know, you want to get into that mindset of a positive outcome. You want to be flexible and accommodating and collaborative. You know, there are all kinds of things that happen. A booker may put you in a spot you don't want to be put on, say the last event of the weekend. Or there is a hitch in the plans. Just go with it and prove that you're accommodating and collaborative so that they're going to invite you back again. Be well prepared early and assume an air of confidence and composure. You know, too often I see people who don't plan enough time and they end up getting stuck in traffic, or there are accidents or problems that prevent them from coming on feeling that confidence. You rush in and you just don't have that moment of quiet. So get there early and get into that zone. And you want to make love the cornerstone of your presentation. Love for the booker, love for the audience, and love for the content. But these 10 secrets are just a beginning to fulfilling your unlimited potential to be an incredibly in-demand and sought-after speaker, radio guest, and summit presenter. So you will be wherever your next clients can find you. Now, there are 2 kinds of transformational business leaders. There are action takers who are so impassioned and committed to sharing the gifts and spreading their message that they're constantly creating opportunities to expose their work to new audiences. Are you one of those? And then there's the wishful thinkers who don't engage but wait for new clients to come to them. That's not a very profitable strategy. So I really want to help you. I want to help you get more stages and be in more places where you can find more people. So I'm going to ask you a question. How confident are you that you have compelling presentation materials that will get you booked? Do you know exactly what to communicate to a booker in an email that will get you priority attention either on stages or on radio? Do you know specifically what virtual summit hosts want in a guest so they are eager to pick you for their summit? Do you already have a comprehensive list of gatekeepers where you can submit yourself for speaking engagements, radio shows, and virtual summits? What really keeps many people off stages is that they don't know how to communicate with bookers to make themselves irresistible, and they don't know how or where to find the opportunities. I am proud to say that I have a simple and easy solution to change that. It's called Speakertunity Get Booked on Stages, Radio Shows, and Virtual Summits Training. Get yourself booked on stages, radio shows, and virtual summits with ease and grow your business exponentially. So here's what I'm offering. The first is how to create your irresistible speaker one sheet. We're going to show you how to write a one sheet that absolutely knocks people's socks off. We're going to develop the words and look so your one sheet is so compelling that speaker bookers pick you next. Now, that's just the beginning. We're also going to craft your speaker applications to land the gig, how to write the email and know what elements go into it, and then do the kind of follow-up that gets you priority attention. So now we've got your stellar one sheet and your speaker application. Module 3 is we're going to develop your Get Booked Radio TV pitch letter. The 8 different elements in your pitch letter, which will make you a sought-after guest. Now, I've written the pitch letters that have gotten more than 10,000 interviews and speaking engagements. I really believe that I have the skills that can give you the leg up on this one. I hope that you do. You really believe that I can help you begin to write a pitch letter that is a masterpiece. So there we have now, we've added your pitch letter to your speaker one sheet and your speaker applications. What do you need if you have all those great bookings? You're now going to need a media kit so hot that hosts perfectly showcase you and your offer. You want to give the media a dynamic media kit that answers all their questions before they even ask you and leads them down the path to sell you and your products to the audience. So now we've got you almost all the way there. One more thing. We're going to turn you into a magnet for virtual summit hosts so you get invited time and time again. Be ready before you pitch. We'll show you how with a lot of great list building skills so that you really qualify for some of those people that have certain list building levels, and then teach you to construct your persuasive appeal to the presenter. And we're going to jumpstart you on the easiest way to find bookers. We're going to provide you the most extraordinary new resources, Speakertunity. Each of these will deliver directly to you the opportunities, the contacts where you can book yourself. Speakertunity Speaker Leads provides more than 60 leads a month all over North America where you can book yourself for speaking engagements, everything from tons of different local chapters of organizations and meetings, conferences, conventions, lifestyles events, associations, spiritual centers, unities, bookstores, retreats and resort centers, business organizations, and also health and wellness support groups, everything you need to book yourself solid. Then, and also a private Facebook group where you're going to get more real constant leads that are timely. And then Speakertunity Radio. This provides you more than 25 radio shows every month out of my archive of radio shows that we know love transformational content. These people are ready, willing, and able to book you. And then lastly, how many times have you actually gotten summits on your desk and thought, geez, I would have been great for that, but it was already too late. So we're going to give you the people who have open summit seats and are ready, willing, and able to book you for that. Now, you can go on to speakertunity.com and you can purchase each of these at $35 a month. But hold on, and I'm going to show you how you're going to get a real taste of these without ever adding any additional cost. If you only got one new speaking engagement or one new paid client, wouldn't it cover the cost? If I saved you all of that time to go looking for those speaking engagements, wouldn't it cover the cost? So here's what you're looking at. For your speaker one sheet, your speaker applications to land the gig, your get booked pitch letter, your media kit so hot that the host perfectly showcase you and your offer, your virtual summit get ready kit and appeals to the virtual summit host, and your Speakertunity leads all in one. It's going to be $997, just $997. And you can go to www.speakertunity.com/exclusive to grab this if you're ready to go. Now, if you were to hire someone to write these, it would cost you $4,500. If you were to get private coaching, it'll cost you $3,200. That's what I would charge for these. But this investment in your future is just $997. But there's more, of course. Here's some really great bonuses that you're also going to get. The $1 Million Marketing Materials Masterclass. This is a 2-hour bonus session with me where you're going to get answers to your questions about your specific presentation materials. I'm going to give you laser coaching on your verbal pitch. And you can pick my brain about the best places for you to personally submit. That's a $1,000 value. Bonus number 2. This is a quick and easy media training for transformational leaders to get the most out of your airtime. We're going to give you 3 ways to control the direction of your interview to ensure delivery of your message, how to appear comfortable, relaxed, welcoming, and authoritative, and then 4 easy transitions that get you off the hot seat and on track to connect with your audience. This is a $500 value. Now, when you got to go out to do your gigs, you're going to want to have the Transformational Speaker Checklist training under your wing to ensure that your speaking gigs are a client-attracting sensation. Exactly what to set up in advance for a smooth and effective speaking engagement, all the elements that must be in place within the room for you to have a maximum impact, and what one thing you must do before taking the stage. And that's a $500 value. Now, I'm also going to give you a profile on Luminary Voices, the Transformational Speaker Performer Showcase, so that you can be previewed by speaker bookers looking for inspirational, impactful, and life-changing speakers. Present yourself and your program amongst top leaders in the field of personal growth. And we're going to give bookers a snapshot of what you can do for their audiences by linking this to your video. And your photo is going to rotate on the homepage several times a day. This is a $250 a year value. And then I told you about Speakertunity. We're going to give you 1 month free in Speakertunity. And this is something that you will use to get acquainted with it. And I know that you're going to want to stay on. And here's one of the great testimonials we have. In just 3 months of using the Speakertunity tip sheet, I booked 3 speaking engagements. I'm very impressed with the amount of tips we are given and feel it is very good value for the service. This is one of our many happy Speakertunity clients, I'm pleased to say. And then we're going to give you a free month to Speakertunity Summits and also to Speakertunity Radio Insider. All this, full value of $3,352. And you're going to be able to have it for the $997 price. Now, if this is a challenge for you, then we absolutely can space that out to 3 payments of $397. I really want to make this something that you can do because I know it's going to make a difference for you. I have seen how this can change people's lives, and I want to be your guide. So if you have any qualms, there's a 60-day Speakertunity Get Book Money Back Guarantee. We believe in our programs. If you go through the entire Speakertunity Get Book program, study each module, complete and apply the coursework, and still don't find this to be exactly what you need to increase your bookings, we will promptly and happily issue a full refund within the first 60 days of the program. Now, while you're going and hopefully signing up at www.speakertunity.com/exclusive, I wanted to fulfill my promise to you to give you one last bonus secret. Now here, so far, we've been talking about addressing the speaker booker directly and finding your speaking engagements that way. But you know what? A great source of new speaking engagements is your very own audience. So if you're in front of an audience, you want to hand out a survey and get them to tell you what they liked, what they didn't, but most important, and maybe what your opt-in, give them a little bit about your opt-in to sign up, but most important, you also want to ask them, do you know of other speaking engagements that I would be great for? And you'd be surprised how many of them will give you new speaking opportunities. So I just want you to really think about how getting booked is going to change your life. This training is your passport to the speaking engagement you want and the life you dream to live. Just imagine yourself on all of those stages and then enjoying the opportunity to change more lives and have an even more robust life. So I really would love you to come and join me for this program. It would be really exciting. I am going to absolutely put this also into the into our chat room. So let me go there and add you to the chat room. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so I hope that you've gotten great value out of this. I loved having you here, and I really hope that you will come and join me for this. I would love to be your guide and your teacher. Thank you for coming today. It's been a joy to work with you.